Of all the auto brands on the road today, only one has been named the best auto brand for 6 straight years. That brand is Mazda. Come shop and save on the award-winning lineup of new Mazdas right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hello and welcome as we start our final edition of the week of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping that you and yours manage to stay as dry as humanly possible, since we had the opportunity to spend some time with you roughly 24 hours ago. The weather in South Louisiana continues to be of primary concern. A flash flood watch is posted for our entire viewing area through this evening. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches, with some higher locally, will be possible. The most likely areas for rainfall will be along and south of the I-10, I-12 corridor, as has pretty much been the case since, Monday of this week, including portions of Metro Baton Rouge and Metro New Orleans. These heavier rainfall amounts could cause, as you might imagine, localized flooding conditions, flash floods, particularly with the amount of saturation that we already have all across our entire viewing area. So, reading from WBRZ, the ABC affiliate Channel 2 in Baton Rouge from their website, the forecast today and tonight: some heavy downpours in the area this morning, along a line of showers and thunderstorms. The line will make its way, as it typically does, from west to east, weakening as it goes. Areas further west will likely see the heavy downpours this morning. For the rest of the day, showers and storms will spark up along that front moving southeast to northwest. Heavy downpours will be possible again this afternoon, and that is why the flash flood watch has been extended through this evening. It is in no way, shape, or form, y'all, our first rodeo, and by now, hopefully, you are of the mindset, despite what one young lady told us this morning here at Bayou Smokehouse, driving her Toyota Corolla, little old bitty thing, down the road through like it's a battle in the bayou, and I'm gonna get on her about that before the show is over today. Exercise that caution, guys, girls, and at the end of the day, people come here from all over the planet. They come for the food, for the music, the culture, the heritage, etc., etc. And typically when they leave and go home, the thing that they talk in the most glowing terms about is the niceness of the people. So why we tend to lose that when we get behind the wheel of an automobile, particularly in inclement weather conditions, is beyond me. You would think in times like these that we would go out of our way to be more considerate. You know, let people know, all right, putting my signal light on, I need to get over. Sure, come on over. You're nice enough to let me know what you're doing. I'll make a spot for you. Following the correct distance. You know, it's pouring down rain outside. We're all doing 50, 60 miles an hour. Why are you on my bumper like you left something in the back seat of my car last night? You know, just basic common sense rules of the road. And particularly when you're talking about a place like Baton Rouge where all it takes is one vehicle in the wrong place at the wrong time to shut down the entire city, you would think that we'd go out of our way to be a little more courteous in times like these. Well, I can't speak for everybody, but a little kindness goes an awfully, awfully long way, particularly when you're dealing with situations like this. So please, if you would, let me implore you to do the right thing. Let the Louisianian in you come out, being a little extra kind and considerate when behind the wheel, and hopefully we will all make it through this none the worse for wear. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, although in recent memory it seems like that is my cross to bear. We mentioned to you last week that it was Hurricane Preparedness Week, and we were advising everyone then, as were state officials and others, to get your game plan ready, you know, start getting your game face on, because we know every single year when it starts, when it ends, and we know it's coming. Well, already, even though officially hurricane season has not started just yet, that doesn't happen until June 1st, the National Hurricane Center says they are tracking what may well be the first tropical development northeast of Bermuda in 2 to 5 days. If this system were to strengthen and produce maximum sustained winds of 30 plus miles an hour, it will be the first of the year. Anna, although I was always taught Anna was spelled A-N-N-A, but this one will carry the designation of A-N-A. I don't know if they're going to call it Anna, whatever. Just be advised that will be the first one if it were to happen. Now, before y'all freak out, okay, it's not all that unusual for tropical storms to form in the month of May. As a matter of fact, for the last 6 years, we've had at least one tropical storm to form in the month of May. Some years, we've had 2 to form in May. Overall, as far as the Atlantic hurricane basin is concerned, we've had 52 tropical depressions and tropical storms that have formed in the month of May. Some of them have formed, as a matter of fact, even earlier, as early as April. Obviously, the peak of hurricane season, not until mid-September, but as the line in the old Tower Power song says, you got to go through it to get to it. So be advised that it is starting already. And as a result, it is never, ever too early to start making preparations. I would like to think in an ideal world, I don't need to tell you all this, but as soon as I don't, then you'll turn around and find yourself in a situation where, you know, man, if I would have known this, I'd have been better prepared. Well, with all we've been through just this week, that's about as vivid a reminder as you will need that in just a matter of days, we will officially be in yet another hurricane season. Govern yourselves accordingly, guys, girls, and who knows, hopefully on the heels of last year, maybe the good Lord will spare us from as active a season as we had last year. God knows the folks over there in Calcasieu and other parts of the state would be eternally grateful in that regard. But we will just have to wait and see how all of that pans out. You know, as we get ready to head into our first break of the hour, I think it was Hannibal from the series The A-Team. Was it not, Marty? One of his catch lines was, "I love it when a plan comes together." Yeah, Hannibal from the A-Team. I love it when something happens and you and I talk about it, and nothing specific precipitated the conversation. But right after that conversation, something else happens that confirms what we were talking about. On more than one occasion in recent memory, you've heard me say, if you listen to people and pay attention to what they're saying, and maybe more important, listen to them but watch what they do, you find out who these folks really are and what they're really all about. Remember those conversations that we've had recently? As a matter of fact, we had one just yesterday. Well, lo and behold, just last night, I run across this story and I go, pay attention and you'll find out who these people are and what they're all about. It led to yours truly having an epiphany. I mean, it was literally one of those cases where the heavens open up and you hear the voice and the light comes down, the whole nine. You're going to want to stick around for this one. But got to get my first break of this hour out of the way. Before we do and before I forget, I want to say a very special hello to an absolutely darling couple that I met yesterday here at Bayou Smokehouse, the home of old school barbecue. Bill and Beth, you all made my day yesterday. I intended to mention it during the show yesterday, got sidetracked, and the time got away from me. But I made a mental note I was not going to let today's show pass without thanking Bill and Beth for an absolutely wonderful visit yesterday. Their words of encouragement for an old boy like yours truly, particularly a man of color that happens to be a conservative, invaluable. Love you guys. Love you, love you, love you. Bill and Beth, thank you so very much, my friends. I make my living with words, and every now and then I run across something that words just don't seem to suffice. So I hope that you will know that it's heartfelt when I tell you I appreciate you more than you know. First break of today's show, it's Epiphany time. When we come back, you're going to want to stick around for this next on the Clarence Bugg Show. Stay close.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS
garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Team Honda wants to thank you for once again making us Louisiana's #1 new car dealer by offering you never-before-seen savings. For the first time ever, get 0% financing up to 60 months on some of your favorite Honda models. Get thousands in savings right now at Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Just yesterday we had a conversation, and I told you guys and girls that if you listen to people, pay attention to what they say, and as an addendum, watch what they do as opposed to what they say, you find out just who these people really are and what they're all about. If you find individuals that are in positions of power, quote unquote, or leadership, quote unquote, you can tell a lot about them by looking at how they react to something that has occurred, particularly if their reaction is different when it happens to you versus when it happens to them. For example, we're all aware of the incident at the Capitol during the inauguration week, okay? Well documented, everybody knows about it. And as ugly an incident as it was, not a single member of Congress was injured. Now, as has become the case these days, define injured. Because now some Congress people are saying, well, we're suffering from PTSD. So, what have they done to deal with this? We've heard this week from Congress that we've been getting additional death threats. So in order to deal with this, we need more money, we need additional security, and we need additional police. These are the same people who have been pushing the narrative of defund the police. In cities all across this nation, communities, by the way, victimized infinitely more than Congress was. They tell us you need fewer dollars for law enforcement. You need fewer officers. But when they feel threatened, what do? They put up a wall while at the same time stopping construction of the wall to protect regular Americans. They push the narrative of defund the police while giving themselves more money, more security, and more police. Now imagine this, if you will, and National Guard. Thank you, Marty. Consider this, if you will. In Democrat-run cities and states all across this country, let's just start with Chicago, maybe the most infamous of all. Every weekend this year, and it goes actually into last year, every weekend, just 3 days, mind you, Friday to Sunday. This is not counting the other 4 days of the week. In predominantly black Chicago, they average around 50 shootings a weekend. Fatalities range anywhere from 5 to 13 every freaking weekend. Where is the bipartisan commission, like Congress just voted for itself? Where's the bipartisan commission to look into this ungodly number of homicides in the black community? It would be bad enough if it were just one community, but this is a loyal part of the Democrat base. No congressional hearings on how it is that the leading cause of death among young black males ages 15 to 39 is homicide. No congressional hearings. As a matter of fact, y'all need fewer officers and less money. But you, because you feel threatened, you get more money and more police and more security. Can you say hypocrite? Can you say do as I say, not as I do? So I'm looking at this last night. Epiphany time. The heavens open up, the big beam of light shines down. I'm reading a story, and a woman is going on about her white guilt. You may remember that I mentioned over a month ago, white people, do us a favor and dispense with the white guilt, because you're only making things worse. But then it occurred to me after watching Congress, if you're white and a Democrat, you ought to feel guilty. You guilty as hell. If you're white and a Democrat, you have supported a party who has pushed policies that has decimated the entire black community all across this country. You ought to feel guilty. You, white Democrat, have supported a party who has pushed abortion that has more than disproportionately affected the black community. You ought to feel guilty. You, white Democrat, have supported a party who has run in all these Democrat-run states and cities the public school education system, and yet black folks are the least educated and the most incarcerated. You, white Democrat, you guilty as hell, and you ought to feel that way. Now, let's understand something here. Now that we have established that you do have the right to your white guilt, white Democrats, let's understand something here. In the vernacular of the streets, don't get it twisted. You have caused the problem. So forgive me if you are the last clown on the planet whose advice I'm going to take on how to fix the problem. You are the one who caused the problem. And I'm supposed to take your advice on how to fix the problem? Wrong answer, but thanks for playing. At the end of the day, you're right to feel guilty. But you know the silver lining here? Any responsible person will tell you the only way we're going to fix this, black folks have to own the problem. We have to stand up and fix the problem. We've got to get the bull by the proverbial horns that is ravaging our communities. And here's an interesting thought. Conservatives are the one that say you have to be responsible for yourself. Name me one thing in the last 40 years, just one is all I want you to name me. Hold up one single thing that the federal government has done that you can say is a shining example of government doing its job. Just one. That's all I want. I'll wait. Still waiting. Can't think of one of them. Little more time. You can't think of one. You know why? Because there isn't one. And yet, these are the people you continue to vote for every freaking time. These are the people who will tell you, well, we need to defund the police. All they get is a threat. In Chicago last weekend, 46 people shot. Just in 3 days, 5 fatalities. Where is the bipartisan commission looking into the state of their lives? And go down the list. St. Louis, Kansas City, LA, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, DC, Maryland, Jersey. Go down the list. Every freaking one of them. We are talking deaths in the thousands. But I don't hear anybody calling for a bipartisan committee to look into it. Could it be that, it's just black folk killing black folk? You get a threat. And what do? You get more police, more money. You get to put up a wall. What do? Get to listen to you talk about defund the police. Again, at the end of the day, have your guilt. If that assuages your feelings, have your guilt. But I'm going to tell you right now, Hoss, don't be insulted when you are the last person on the planet whose advice I'm going to take on how to fix the problem you created. Just a little something to make you go, huh. Bottom of the hour break. We'll get her done. We'll talk more next on the Clarence Bug Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. And yes, we are open today at Bayou Country Smokehouse, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Why do I always want to throw country in there? For whatever it is, it's actually Bayou Smokehouse. Is it on the sign? No, it's only Bayou. Bayou Smokehouse, the home of old school barbecue. They are open today, so come on by. They'd love to see you. You know, I guess there's something to be said about being raised in a culture where wanting to be relevant, quote unquote, defines your existence. I was so very fortunate to be raised in a home where you never worried about tooting your own horn. As a matter of fact, it was actually 180 degrees opposite. If you felt the need to show others, tell others what you are doing that's relevant, you're probably not relevant. Enter Shay Mitchell. Marty, one of Marty's favorite shows. She stars in Pretty Little Liars. That's one of your favorite shows, isn't it? Thought it, Pretty Little Liars. And I guess the name pretty much tells you all you need to know. Hollywood. or Hollyweird, as we like to call it. She had made it a point to announce this week to all who would listen, in a recent interview with Women's Health, she explained that she and her husband have been having, quote, appropriate conversations with their daughter about racism. Did I mention her daughter is, wait for it, 1 year old? Now, I don't know what your life experience has been. I can only speak for myself. But I have seen more times than I can count where you take a group of children, 1 year olds, all different races, creeds, colors, ethnicities, parents, political or religious persuasion, whatever. Put them all in a room and watch what happens. They are happy as a hog in slop. All they see are friends. And race never enters the picture. Not, that is, until an adult gets involved. How in God's name do you have, quote, the appropriate conversations on race with a 1 year old? Apparently, not enough people have been watching her show, so she felt the need to be relevant and put this out there. I was always taught, and God, let me acknowledge and thank you for giving me the two wonderful parents that you did. You let your actions speak for you. I don't have to prove to anyone that I'm a decent broadcaster. I let my work speak for itself. I don't have to call a news conference to announce that my subject and verbs agree. I don't end sentences with a preposition. I simply let my work speak for itself. When you find an individual that apparently feels the need to broadcast to others what they're doing in relevant racial conversations with their 1 year old daughter, that should tell thinking people everything they need to know. Now, just from the name of the show, I know I'll never watch it. Pretty Little Liars. And I'm not so naive as to think a 62-year-old black guy is not in their primary demographic. That is not, my man at the bar's going, yep, you're probably right on that one, bruh. You're probably right on that one, bruh. I'm not in your primary demographic. I get it. I understand it full well. But the problem is those who are so easily hoodwinked, snookered, and bamboozled by idiots like you that it's scary. Well, if Shay is having the relevant conversations about race with her 1 year old, then maybe I need to do the same thing. I mean, after all, she's in Hollywood. And why do you think it is people are abandoning Hollywood like nobody's business? See, in this country, we have both a blessing and a curse. Freedom and liberty provides us a blessing and a curse. For example, as an American, well, at least up until you liberals started getting it twisted, in this country, you have the right to have an opinion and to express it. Now, after you express it, the rest of your fellow Americans have the option to look at you and call you an idiot. That's how it works. It is both a blessing and a curse. But when you feel the need, just because, I don't know, there's some hole in you that you're afraid you're no longer relevant, that you have to share all this with the rest of the world, automatically I start questioning your motive. Of course, now, it is also why we caution you all the time, particularly when it comes to the mainstream media. You can't believe everything these people tell you. For example, just this week, after running the narrative 180 degrees opposite, the Democrats slash liberals slash progressives and the mainstream media railed incessantly over how voter ID laws are racist. Well, what is arguably the most liberal bunch of folk out there in media, CNN, decides we need to do a poll to find out what Americans really think. Bad news, CNN. CNN's own poll showed 64% of Americans, and by the way, a higher number of black Americans, say requiring ID to vote is not only not racist, but it makes the election more fair. What? Wait a minute. Wait. CNN was the one that just totally lost it. When Georgia passed the voter ID law, oh my God, you would have thought they had pom-poms and skirts on. Well, they may have, but you never know about CNN. Biggest cheerleaders on the planet. Oh, this is so racist. Oh, this is, and you heard all the asinine arguments. Well, black people can't get driver's licenses. They can't get voter ID cards. What's wrong with y'all? CNN's own poll showed 64% of Americans in general say, well, yeah, you got to have an ID to vote. Otherwise, how do we know you are who you say you are? How do we know? But that's what happens when you take these folks at face value. Now listen, don't get it twisted. I am not telling you not to watch CNN. What I am telling you is you better take that crap with a grain of salt, son. Do your own research. Do your own homework and find out for yourself. You know, there was a time in this country we couldn't wait after hearing something to go and do some research and find out if we're being lied to or not. Now, the number of my fellow Americans who are so comfortable in their ignorance is frightening. And I understand a lot of y'all are so lazy that, God forbid, I have to do any actual work to figure out what's going on. It's just so much easier to sit on my fat behind and let CNN tell me what to think. Well, as an American, you have that right. You've heard me say before, buried somewhere deep in the Constitution is the line, it's America. You got a right to be a moron. But when that happens, don't complain. When it happens, don't gripe. when it happens, hopefully, you will come to the realization, you know, maybe, just maybe, I'm a part of the problem. Just a thought. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up another week of the Clarence Buggs Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
We're making 2021 the year of savings, and it starts right now at Team Toyota. Come get a new 21 Corolla for just $189 a month, or get a 20 Camry for just $19,995. It's a year full of savings starting right now, right here at Team Toyota.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Buggs Show. Question. How many of you still actively use social media? Y'all forgive me for laughing at you, but, you know, I, in the last segment, talked about how certain things in this country, we collectively are the problem. Now, comes to social media, you can't put me in that number because I don't do that, okay? When this whole thing started to explode and become mega popular, I would readily tell people, I don't do that. I got a life. I don't need this. I don't do it. Well, if you are a conservative and you are concerned about the censorship from social media of conservatives, and you still use social media, particularly Twitter, you are part of the problem. You're a huge part of the problem. Example, Twitter recently banned Spanish politician Francisco Jose Contreras. Like me, you've probably never heard of this guy, but he is the deputy leader of the leading populist conservative party in the country. Recently, he, on Twitter, posted something that got him banned for 12 hours. Here's the tweet that he posted on Twitter that ended up getting him banned. Quote, "A man cannot get pregnant. A man has no uterus or eggs." Banned him. What happened to the science? A man, quote, cannot get pregnant. A man has no uterus or eggs. In an automated message informing him of the suspension, Twitter told Contreras, quote, "No threatening, harassing, or fostering of violence against other people on the basis of their race, ethnic origin, nationality, sexual orientation, gender, gender identity, religion, age, disability, or disease is permitted." So let's see. No threatening. A man cannot get pregnant. A man does not have a uterus or eggs. Anybody see a threat there? Didn't think so. No harassing. A man cannot get pregnant. A man does not have a uterus or eggs. Any harassment there? I don't see anything other than a biological fact. No fostering of violence. A man cannot get pregnant. A man has no uterus or eggs. Anybody see a threat in that? So if there's no fostering of violence, there's no threat, there's no harassment, you are simply stating a biological fact. You're following the science. Apparently then, the ban is not about harassment, threatening, or fostering violence. The ban is about what we think you should be able to think. Apparently, the ban is not about threatening, fostering violence, or harassing. It's about deciding what you can or cannot say as an individual. So, if you are dissatisfied with the censorship, if you are dissatisfied with how they randomly, willy-nilly ban people and you're still using it, you the problem. Don't complain, because you are the problem. See, why for the life of me you can't figure this out, I have yet to come to terms with, but that's a different show for a different day. If these folks thought for 1 minute, if word gets out that we are censoring people just because, we're going to lose half of our participating audience and probably half or more of our revenue. Do you really seriously think they will continue to do it? If you still use it, you the problem. That's a little something for you to think about over the weekend, and we'll talk about it again in the future. Speaking of the weekend, if you are planning on checking out our LSU Lady Softball Tigers, good news for the regional, 100% capacity at Tiger Park. It's going to be like old times at Tiger Park. And I could not be happier for my girl, Beth Torina. You've heard me say on more than one occasion, Beth, the coach of the LSU Softball Tigers, one of my favorite people on the planet. And hopefully this year is going to be the year. We'll just have to wait and see. Also, I would be remiss in my duties if I did not take the time to acknowledge the story that broke today. He is a guy that probably most Baton Rougeans don't know. They know of, they've heard of, but he has done some amazing, amazing things in and for Baton Rouge, and has announced this week his retirement. John Davies announcing yesterday that he will be retiring at the end of the year as the president and CEO of the Baton Rouge Area Foundation. He started his tenure with BRAF, the acronym BRAF for Baton Rouge Area Foundation, started his tenure in 1988 and has been the leader of that organization for 33 years. You talk about a guy that not only loves what he does, but has worked tirelessly to elevate that organization to a level that most of us can't begin to imagine. Well, Clarence, how can you say that? You don't know what my imagination is. Well, I ask you to consider this. When he took over as the CEO of the Baton Rouge Area Foundation, their total assets were $5 million. You know what it is today? $722 million. From $5 million to $722 million in assets. He will continue to be integrally involved, but won't be the CEO. They are conducting a nationwide search, and hopefully by the end of the year, they will have decided who will be the next person to lead the Baton Rouge Area Foundation from there. Great job, Big John. Great job. My time's up, y'all, and I gotta go. But this day, just like any other, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, he loves you, and so do I. Good news is, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Stay safe, stay dry. We'll see you Tuesday. God bless.